Okay, so continuing with picking up the review package, number 13 right here, calculate the rate of change. What's another word for rate of change? Casey? Slope, right? Slope, rate of change, and they all mean the same thing. So technically, when you're given a table, you're basically given the three coordinates. Okay, so 12 comma negative 9, 18 comma negative 6, and 24 comma negative 3. So technically, you could just use the slope formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and you'll get your slope. Or you could do from the table first difference. Subtract backwards, you get 3. Subtract backwards, you get 6. So 3 over 6, which is the 1 over 2. Either way works, whichever way you want. Number 14, Sam, he made $80 mowing the lawn for 6 hours. He charged $12 per hour. So how much was the setup fee? So for the 6 hours, $80, should it be 6 comma 80 or 80 comma 6? Let's see, Zoe, should it be 6 comma 80 or 80 comma 6? 6 comma 80 because 6 is your independent variable. So time is always independent. So that's your x, that's your y, and the 12 is your m. So when you substitute it in, you have the 8. Another way that somebody was doing it was 6 times 12, and then they subtracted that from 80, and then they found that it's 8. Same idea. It's just doing it from A to B or from B to A. Okay. Number 15, you are given this equation, and you have to find the x and y intercept. So to find the x-intercept, what do I do? Maxwell, to find the x-intercept, I let right, and then when I want to find the y-intercept, I let x be 0. Simple as that. Okay, and then anything times 0 is just 0. So substitute it in, and then move the 4 over by timesing, move the 5 over by dividing. I get x equals 60 and y equals 50. Remember, you do not put them together to make one point. This is an x-intercept, so it's 60, 0. This is a y-intercept, so it's 0, 50. Don't put them together. Okay, and then part B is asking if the point negative 2 over 3 comma 4, if that's on the line. So you're given the equation, so sub it in for your x and y and see if it equals 75 or not. So that one, it doesn't, and so it's not on the line. C, it asks you which quadrant the point is on. So quadrant, we only touched on it in the introductory lesson. So quadrant, this one with the x and y axis, this top one where it's all positive, that's quadrant 1. And then you go counterclockwise. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that point right there is in quadrant 2. Okay. And then lastly, to write in standard form. Why is this not in standard form? I have a ax plus by equals c, but why is this not in standard form? Grace? It's standard form, standard form. So what you're thinking is slope-intercept form, but standard form is ax plus by equals c. But what's wrong with this format? Noel? Okay. Fugencia, why is this not in standard form? Shrenik, how about you? Why is this not in standard form? It's ax plus, it has to be integers. That's right. So no the fractions. Okay, so I have to get rid of the fractions. My denominator here is 4. My denominator here is 2. So how do I get rid of fractions in one step? The little trick. Right, okay, so between 4 and 2, I can multiply everything by 4. I multiply through by the LCD. So 5 times 4 divided by 4, I get 5x. 3 times 4 divided by 2, I get 6y. And then don't forget this side as well. So 75 times 4, I get 300. You can either write it in this form or this form. Both are considered standard form. All right. So 5x plus 6y equals 300. That's standard form. A and B, A, B, and C has to be integers. Okay. And later on, when you get into grade 11 and 12, they may be picky as to say that A has to be positive as well. Right, so keep that in mind. Number 16, you are given this algebraic expression and you have to simplify. Negative 20 to the exponent 0. Is this positive 1 or negative 1? Right. Does this give you positive or negative 1? Who says positive 1? Who says negative 1? Wow, I have 3 people in my class. Okay, it is positive 1 because it's in the negative is in brackets. Okay, so it's let me, where is number 16? Oh, this cold is killing me. 16. I'm just looking for the page right here. All right, so after you distribute, you have this, and then this is plus 1 because of the bracket. So when you simplify it by grouping the like terms, you get 2x5 minus 4x4 plus 3. Part B says, what if x is negative 2? When you sub it in, don't forget you have to have brackets. So Aaron, negative 2 to the power of 5, will that give you a positive or negative answer? Negative. What about negative 2 to the power of 4? Right, okay, so don't forget that. So when you solve it, you should get negative 125. Okay. This one right here, Aiden, negative 2 to the power of 5. If I were to expand this out, how would I write it? Expanded form. In expanded form. Negative open bracket 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Good. Okay, so just one negative in the front. What about this one? Negative 2 to the power of 5. Simon. Negative 2 to the power of 5. Oh, if I were to write it out. Negative 2 times negative 2. Right. Okay. So you guys see the difference between these two? So this one with no bracket, there's only one negative in the front. This one with the bracket, then it's a negative for everything. Okay. Number 17, Bill, Abby, and Kelvin are shareholders. Do I really care how much percent Abby has or how much Kelvin has? No. Okay, so those are just to trick you guys, just to see if you understand the question. I only care about how much Bill has. So Bill, he owns 58% of 1,234,000. So I'm just doing that multiplication. Okay, change that to a percent. Change that percent to a decimal, and then up these times, and then that you get this. And then from here, I'm going to sell 13% of it. So 13% of that amount is 0.13 of these times, and that. So it comes out to 93%. This is similar to like the discount question that we did, where you were getting a discount and then an additional discount. Same idea, but just with shareholders. Okay. On some side notes, some people got this wrong on the assignment. So I want to talk about fixed and variable expense. Fixed expense is something that's the same amount month over month. Okay, and on the assignment, it does say household expense. So some of you were telling me something that not related to the house. So that's not a fixed expense. So fixed expense are For example, your mortgage or rent, those ones is the same amount every month. Your car loan, that's also the same amount every month. Variables are utility. Utilities are variable expense. Do you have to shower every day? Technically, no. Okay, so don't tell your parents that. So if you don't shower for the whole month, your water bill is gonna go down a lot. Um, and electricity, you don't have to turn on the lights every day. You can have candles, for example. So electricity and water, those are actually variable expenses. Um, I think what some of you were thinking is necessity. Yes, utility is a necessity, but it's also a variable. Okay, entertainment, you don't have to go to the movie every month. And food, you can either have steak every night or hamburgers every night. Okay, so that's also variable. Interest, just like what we were saying before, depends if you're borrowing a loan or if it's an investment. If it's an investment, you want to increase your principal and increase the interest rate. Vice versa, if it's a loan, you want those to be down. Okay. Number 18, you are getting a discount. 20% discount means you're paying 80% of the total cost. So that's why you times it by 0.8. And then for the tax, you're paying on top. So that's why it's times 1.13. On the exam, whenever it's money, remember to round it to 2 decimal place. So even though this one, you should not round it to $179, okay? Even with that 1 penny, because money should be 2 decimal places. Okay? 90, because it's definitely it means linear. Partial direct variation, that was taken out of the curriculum, but if you want to know what it is, it's just does it start at 0 or not. So this one, it does not start at 0, 0, and so we say this is partial. If it does, we call it direct variation. It's simple as that. Okay, and then the chart right here, you can do first difference, subtract backwards. I see a pattern in the y, I see the same pattern in the x, so that means it's linear. Okay, 20. 20 with this diagram right here. This is Allison's walk from home. Uh, don't forget direction and speed. Does Allison start at home? No, right? Home is the x-axis. So in fact, Allison started 300 meters away from home. So if I want to be creative with my story, I could say Allison started 300 meters away from home, and then realized that she forgot her phone. So she went home to get it. It took her 2 minutes, and then it took her 1 minute to find her phone, and then she had to run to school because she was late. Okay, so running 500 meters in 1 minute, and then when she got to school, she realized, oh wait, it was a Saturday. So then she slowly walked back home, and then after 200 meters, she got really tired, and so she took another 2 minute break. Okay, so when you uh, when you do the remember distance, speed, and time, this triangle, you see it in science. This is a very useful triangle. Okay, so again, to find distance, you do speed times time. To find speed, you do distance divided by time, and then to find time, you do distance divided by speed. So this is a very useful triangle. I still use it today. Okay. By now you should know the relationship between a cone and a cylinder for volume. It's that it's 3 times. So you can either say a cone is a third of a cylinder, or a cylinder is 3 times the volume of a cone. Okay. And then lastly, this one, some people were asking about number 22. It is a very good question. You have a base area of 64 and a slanted height of 5. So looking at this right here, Again, it doesn't ask for a diagram, but it's always good to draw the diagram. So you have something like this. You know the slope formula is the volume formula is v squared times height divided by 3. Do I know the height? Taking a look at this diagram, do I know the height of the pyramid? No. So Maxwell, what should I do? Pythagorean theorem, right. If you're not sure, Pythagorean theorem is always, whatever is missing, Pythagorean theorem. But what's the trick right here, though, to using Pythagorean theorem? Maxwell?
You have to use half the base.
Right. Okay, so I know the base of my shape is 8, but I want a right angle triangle, which means it's only half the base. Okay, so that's the trick right here. Don't get fooled. On your last assignment on this, I think quite a few people missed this. Okay, so I have a slanted height of 5. I have half the base, which is 4, and I'm looking for the height. So when I do Pythagorean theorem, I see that it's 3. So sub it in, I get my answer. What is my unit for volume? Simon? Cube, because it's volume. All right. If you get it wrong, half a mark off on the exam. And then you only get 99.9% on the test, on the exam. Okay. So that was your homework from yesterday. You do have about half an hour left of class. I want you guys to work on number 23 to 29. And then on Monday, we'll take up this page. And then on Tuesday, take up the last page. And then we're all done. Okay, so we're right on pace with everything. Over the weekend, if you want to continue and just finish everything, by all means, I do encourage you guys to start studying over the weekend because this is the last weekend before your final exams. Okay, so I know you guys, some of you have like 3 or 4 exams, so definitely start studying this weekend. Okay.